Every car company on the planet is screaming the same thing right now. Electric. Electric. And then there's Honda. While everyone else was fighting over battery suppliers and charging networks, Honda walked into the room, dropped a name nobody expected to hear again, the Prelude, and said, "We're doing this differently. No giant battery. No charging anxiety. No compromise on driving feel." And honestly, it might be the smartest move any car company has made in years, but here's the thing most people are missing. This isn't just a car launch. This is Honda betting against the entire direction of the auto industry. And the crazy part, the numbers say they might be right. Let me break down exactly what's going on. Before we touch the engine or the specs, we need to talk about this name, because Honda didn't pick it randomly. The original Prelude launched in 1978, and for over 2 decades, it was Honda's statement car, not their bestseller, not their cheapest, their statement. It was the car where Honda tested their boldest ideas first. The first Honda with 4-wheel steering? Prelude. Double wishbone suspension across the lineup? Started with the Prelude. VTEC and a refined sport coupe? Prelude. Then, in 2001, Honda killed it. The market was shifting to SUVs, and a 2-door sport coupe didn't make business sense anymore. For 23 years, the name collected dust. So why bring it back now? Think about it. Every company today is launching cars with names like X7 Ultra or iFlow Max Pro. Forgettable. Generic. Honda looked at that and said, "We have something better. A name that already means something." And here's what's clever about it. A new name can grab attention for a week. A legendary name grabs attention and trust. When old Honda fans hear Prelude, they don't think another hybrid. They think Honda's back. But, and this is important, nostalgia alone doesn't sell cars. So let's talk about what's actually under the hood, because this is where it gets really interesting. Most people hear hybrid and think Toyota Prius. Slow, boring, built for people who only care about saving fuel. The Prelude's hybrid system is a completely different animal. Honda is using their latest EHEV technology. Here's the setup. A 2.0-liter direct-injection 4-cylinder petrol engine, paired with 2 electric motors. Combined output is estimated around 200 to 210 horsepower. Not supercar numbers, but here's the thing. It's how that power is delivered that makes this car special. The system operates in 3 distinct modes, and it switches between them automatically. The driver doesn't press any buttons, doesn't select any modes. The car figures it out. Mode 1, EV drive. You're in the city. Stop-and-go traffic. Parking lots. Low speeds. The petrol engine shuts off completely. The electric motor handles everything. The car is silent. Smooth. 0 fuel consumed. You feel like you're driving an EV. Mode 2, hybrid drive. You need more power. Merging onto a road, moderate acceleration. Here's where it gets clever. The petrol engine turns on, but it doesn't power the wheels directly. Instead, it acts as a generator. It produces electricity, feeds it to the electric motor, and the motor drives the wheels. Why? Because electric motors deliver instant torque. They're better at acceleration than a petrol engine at variable speeds. So Honda lets each component do what it's best at. The engine generates. The motor drives. The result? Smooth, responsive acceleration with no lag and no jerky transitions. Mode 3, engine drive. You're on the highway, cruising at a steady speed. Now the petrol engine connects directly to the wheels through a lock-up clutch. At constant high speeds, a petrol engine is actually more efficient than running through the electric conversion process. So the system adapts. The motor drops into a support role, ready to provide a boost when you need to overtake, but otherwise letting the engine do its thing. And here's the key point. You don't manage any of this. You just drive. The system reads the situation hundreds of times per second and makes the switch seamlessly. Honda's entire philosophy with this system is technology should disappear. You shouldn't feel the engineering. You should just feel that the car is doing exactly what you want, when you want it. Now, one more thing that matters a lot. The battery in this hybrid system is small. We're talking about a compact lithium-ion pack. Nothing like the massive 60 or 80 kilowatt-hour batteries in full EVs. That means the Prelude doesn't carry hundreds of kilograms of extra weight. Why does that matter? Because weight kills driving feel. It's physics. A heavier car feels sluggish in corners, needs bigger brakes, wears tires faster, and just doesn't feel as alive. The Prelude, built on Honda's latest platform, keeps the weight down and the center of gravity low. The result: sharp steering, balanced cornering, and a car that actually feels like a sport coupe, not a heavy sedan pretending to be one. Quick pause here. If you're finding this breakdown useful, you're going to want to see what's coming next, because we're about to get into why this car is making some very big companies nervous. But first, drop a comment and tell me, would you pick a hybrid like this over a full EV? I genuinely want to know what you think. Alright, the elephant in the room. Every major company is going electric. Governments are pushing EV mandates. The media says petrol is dead. So why would Honda launch a petrol hybrid in 2025? Are they behind? Are they scared of EVs? Are they making a mistake? No. They're reading the room better than most people realize. Let's look at the actual data. As of 2024, EVs account for roughly 18 to 20% of global new car sales. That means 80% of buyers are still choosing petrol, diesel, or hybrid. 80%. Charging infrastructure? Still a mess in most of the world. In the US, there are about 186,000 public charging ports for over 4 million EVs on the road. Compare that to over 150,000 gas stations, each with multiple pumps. The gap is enormous. Average EV charging time at a fast charger? 30 to 45 minutes for an 80% charge. At a regular charger? Hours. Meanwhile, filling up petrol takes 5 minutes. EV battery replacement cost: anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000, depending on the car. That's a major concern for anyone planning to keep their car longer than 5 or 6 years. And then there's price. Without subsidies, most EVs are significantly more expensive than equivalent petrol or hybrid cars. In developing markets, India, Southeast Asia, Latin America, parts of Africa, the price gap makes EVs inaccessible for the average buyer. Honda's position isn't anti-EV. They've committed to going fully electric by 2040. They're developing the Honda Zero Series, their dedicated EV platform. They have partnerships with GM and Sony for future electric vehicles. But Honda is also being honest about something most companies won't say publicly. The world isn't ready for 100% EVs right now. Not the infrastructure, not the pricing, and not every customer. So the Prelude is Honda's answer for the present. Low fuel consumption, no charging needed, advanced technology, wheel driving feel. Available now, not 5 years from now. Now here's where it gets spicy. Let's talk about the competition. Let me be real with you. The Prelude is not a direct competitor to a Tesla Model 3 or a BYD Seal. They're different types of cars for different types of buyers. Anyone who tells you otherwise is either clickbaiting or doesn't understand the market. But, and this is the important part, the Prelude does compete for the same customer's wallet, and that's what matters. Think about a buyer in 2025 who's considering their next car. They've heard all the EV hype. They're interested. But then they think about charging at their apartment complex. No charger. They think about road trips, range anxiety. They think about cost. The EV they want is $10,000 more than their budget. That buyer was leaning toward an EV. The Prelude gives them a reason to lean back. And that's the scenario that should concern Tesla and BYD. Not that the Prelude is a better car than their EVs. It's a different kind of car. The concern is that it removes the sense of inevitability. It shows buyers that there's a middle path. You can have modern technology, low fuel consumption, smooth and quiet driving without plugging in. Tesla and BYD's business model depends on the narrative that EVs are the only future. Every car that challenges that narrative, especially from a trusted brand like Honda, makes their job harder. Now, Toyota. This is the real head-to-head. Toyota essentially invented the modern hybrid market. The Prius changed the industry. The Camry hybrid, RAV4 hybrid, Corolla hybrid, all massive sellers. Toyota's hybrid philosophy is simple and brilliant. Save fuel, be reliable, don't complicate things. And it works. Toyota sells millions of hybrids every year. So what does Honda do differently with the Prelude? Toyota builds hybrids for commuters. Honda built this hybrid for drivers. Toyota's hybrids prioritize fuel economy above everything. The driving experience is fine. It's smooth, it's quiet, it gets the job done. But it's not exciting. Nobody has ever described a Prius as thrilling. The Prelude is tuned differently. Sharper throttle response, sport-tuned to suspension, lower, wider stance, steering that actually communicates what the front tires are doing. Honda is saying you can have hybrid efficiency and look forward to driving. The interesting thing, the Prelude sits right between the Prius and the GR86. It's more fun than the Prius and more efficient than the GR86. That's a sweet spot nobody else is really targeting. Now let me be honest, because I'm not here to sell you this car. The Prelude has potential weaknesses too. First, it's a coupe. 2 doors. Limited rear seat space. That eliminates it for a lot of families. Honda is intentionally targeting a niche, not the mainstream. Second, pricing hasn't been fully confirmed for all markets, but it's expected to sit above the Civic and below the premium sport coupe segment. If Honda prices it too high, it'll struggle against both cheaper hybrids and similarly priced EVs that offer more tech. Third, in markets where EV incentives are strong, like Norway, parts of China, some US states, a hybrid gets zero subsidies. That makes the price comparison less favorable. Fourth, the hybrid system, while brilliant, still burns petrol. For buyers who are motivated purely by environmental concerns, the Prelude won't be enough. Honda knows all of this. The Prelude isn't meant to be everything for everyone. It's meant to be the right thing for a specific buyer. Honda launched the Prelude in Japan first. And that's not just hometown pride. It's a strategic choice. Japanese buyers are among the most demanding in the world. They don't care about hype, they care about how a car feels in daily life. In tight city streets, in heavy traffic, over thousands of kilometers. If the Prelude passes the Japan test, Honda has real-world proof that the car works, not just marketing data, but actual customer feedback. After Japan, Honda is expected to expand the Prelude to North America, Europe, and select Asian markets. The timing and exact markets will likely depend on how Japan's sales perform and how each region's regulations align. And here's what's strategic about this rollout. Honda isn't trying to blanket the world on day one. They're launching in markets where the car makes sense, where buyers value driving feel, where hybrid technology is appreciated, and where the charging infrastructure gap makes a strong case against going full EV. This is Honda playing the long game, not chasing quarterly headlines, but building something sustainable. So here's the bottom line. The Honda Prelude is not an EV killer. It's not going to bankrupt Tesla or shut down BYD. Let's not be ridiculous, but it is something more subtle and potentially more important. It's proof that the future of cars doesn't have to be one single technology. It's proof that you can innovate without abandoning what makes driving enjoyable. And it's proof that Honda, a company that's been doing this for over 75 years, still knows how to read the market better than most. The Prelude is for the buyer who wants modern technology without modern headaches, who wants efficiency without sacrificing fun, who wants a car that works for their life, not a car that asks them to change their life. Will it succeed? That depends on pricing, execution, and whether Honda can market it as well as they've engineered it. But the foundation is rock solid. If you made it this far, you clearly care about cars that actually matter, not just hype. So hit subscribe. I break down the biggest moves in the auto industry with honesty and zero fluff. Drop a comment. Would you buy the Prelude over a full EV, over a Toyota hybrid? I want to hear your take. And if you want to see my breakdown of Honda's upcoming full EV lineup, the Honda Zero Series, that video is right here. It's a completely different strategy, and it's fascinating. I'll see you in the next one.